Alrighty, we have this thing assembled, and I just wanted to show assembled now that I have some better volume. But the big important thing is once you drill these 1/2 inch alignment holes out that the shaft put in order to get the bearings aligned, as I showed in the other video, the biggest thing is this spacer has to be made exact so that when you put these bearings together, it sits like this, and this bolt goes through it so that when you sandwich everything, it holds these two tight along with this to the gantry. If you don't do that, it's going to shake and wobble all over the place, so you have to play with it, a little grinding, a little sanding. It's nothing, you don't need any special tools to make this thing. Although on a lathe, it's easy to do on a lathe, but if you don't have one, it can be done by hand. So the biggest thing is when you make this thing, they have to be together. You drill 2 holes in the corners first when you clamp them, bolt them together, and then drill your alignment holes for your bearings. And then use those 1/2 inch holes, put a piece of Thompson shafting, put it in there, and aligned it with the bearings. And that's how I got these exactly in the center. And then I put these 1 1/4 inch spacers here, or 1 1/8 I think they are, spacers in there, and that's how I built it. And I need a lot of grinding and a lot of sanding. Of course, if I had a CNC cutter already working, I could have made them a lot faster and easier. Probably a little better looking too. This hole for the motor is not exact. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to be disassembling these things now to paint it so I can put them together for their final assembly. And that's pretty much it. Alrighty, we got my gearbox, gear drive already made, the spring in there. This thing was made without using any kind of fancy machinery. It's just basically the 2 pieces sandwiched together like I showed in the other video. Got a couple of nuts there welded for some spring tension. Put the 2 bearings in. The whole trick is to align the 2 holes when you have the 2 halves bolted together. A lot of grinding and sanding went in this thing. And I got my bearing bolt to hold it flat. I used a 5/8. You probably could get away with 1/2 inch. I just went a little overkill on it. But the biggest thing is I needed to be able to adjust this gear in and out in order to wind up to the rack. I mean, it's a NEMA 34 motor. I was worried about using a 24. It was too light, so I put a 34. And I have the gantry on here on the other side. I have one already set up. I'm going to take it apart in a few and paint it. You see the rack gear right there. I got the spring mechanism all welded on, and they said to use a 100-pound spring. There's a 100-pound spring. I don't know if you need a 100-pound spring, but that's pretty much it. The whole gantry slides pretty easy. Next video I'll be making the table. Right now I'm going to paint it. I have the other piece made for the Z that'll sit this way, similar to that, but it's just going to sit horizontal. And then I tack my rack gear up in there. I tack welded it on the top. As you can see, there's a small gap where the weld is. Nothing big. I did the same thing here. Tack welded it. Using sticky tape just didn't go over well with me, and I made everything so you could adjust this gantry and get every single angle adjusted, including these where I'm going to put them 5/8 bolts and nuts to I'll be able to go in and out, up and down, and sideways as soon as I'm done. This is the inside of this. It's got some bearings in there, riding on 8mm skateboard bearings. Seems to be what everybody uses. I don't know. If it doesn't work, I'll move to a linear slide, but it was more efficient and cheaper to do this. But this was the hardest thing to figure out. It's pretty solid. I use high-end bearings from McMaster car. They're not cheap bearings, so I don't perceive having a problem with these, and I didn't want to use a pillar block. that's cheap. It is what it is. I guess we'll try it out, and I'll be making the table in the next video. Hopefully I'll get it working, then I'll make another one of the electronics.